you're looking at a man that can win a league. You're looking at a man that could be the number one tight end in fantasy football. I'm not saying he's going to rank higher than Brock Bowers on my personal set of rankings, or that I'm going to tell anybody to expect it, but there is a world where this man, Sam Laporta, is the number one tight end in fantasy football in 2025 and 2027. Maybe he rotates with Brock Bowers. Let's not forget, he was the number one tight end for all of us walking into 2024. He got overdrafted. We said, be careful. And a lot of people did reach for him, and it didn't work out well. That aftertaste, that being upset about it not working out, is going to drive and is driving a lot of people away from drafting him in 2025. And he returned to normalcy after a injury-plagued year. And injuries are a concern, but he returned to normalcy. And a lot of things are going to change in this Detroit offense with Ben Johnson leaving. They're going to try and keep some stuff the same, but this man will be a safety blanket for Goff and for this entire offense. And I venture to say that this guy right here, Sam Laporta, has such a big bounce back performance. He wins leagues for people. Not assisting people in winning leagues. He can help you single-handedly wipe out your opponent because of the advantage you get from drafting the number one or number two tight end at 62 overall. He is, I give you, Mars Man, number 5. We might move some of these guys around because I believe Bucky and Breece Hall and Kyron deserve to be on the same list. So we might move them up to Saturn. But I give you Laporta, Mars Man extraordinaire.
He's on a shuttle to Mars. Mars Man.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
It's time to draft, but before we draft, we go over something big. We don't just come in here and go, let's do a boring old draft over and over, Smitty. You walk in and you're like, oh, he's doing another draft today. No, not here, not on this channel, not on my watch. On this channel, we cook.
Let him cook.
We've got Daniel Hart dropping a $20 hauler in the building. Daniel made a comment on my YouTube video. I venture to say I triggered him to drop this because he said Smitty is inconsistent with going live during the graveyard stream, which is true. But Daniel, you may have missed this, but I've made this abundantly clear that in January, February, a little bit of March maybe, before the new league calendar year, right around March 15, March 13, March 12, depends. Every year is different. We are a little bit sporadic for the after hour show. We're a little bit sporadic. During the season, Daniel, I don't know if you were here during the season last year, we're like clockwork. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Thursday night. Like, it's like clockwork. You know, there's no skipping graveyard shows. But my little vacation, my break from it all is kind of being a little spotty in January and February for the midnight show. I don't skip the 8 p.m. show. I don't skip any of that. But Daniel, just so you know, and I clapped back in a playful way to Daniel. I said, Daniel, this is bad advice, because he said, go to bed, everyone. I don't think Smitty's coming. And I said, bad advice, Daniel. I'm here, and we're going live right now. And Daniel dropped the $20 hauler. Appreciate you, Daniel, for doing that.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Laporta. Thanks again, Daniel. Here's the thing about Laporta. The cost of entry is not, I don't want to say free, because like it's still 60 overall. It's still a solid pick, you know. You're spending 5th round, 6th, you know, depending on how lucky you get. 5th round, 6th round, you know, value. This is tight end number 4. It's not like he's garbage cheap, but that value 62, that puts him right. Let's see. Let me pull up a draft and see exactly where that is. 50, what do we say, 62? 62 puts you right at, what is that? That's right around, let's see, the beginning of 6. So like 6.2, 6.3, 6.4, 6.5. It's not free, but you're talking about Jerry Jeudy, and I like Jeudy. You're talking about Godwin. I like Godwin. Monty's pretty good value there. This is a very acceptable place to grab a guy that you've seen for 2 seasons now, one of which in 2024, where he was injured on and off the entire, like 2/3 of the season in 2024. He was down from 86 receptions the year prior to 60. He was down from 120 targets to 83. He was banged up. But look at his yardage. Look at his touchdowns. Not that far off. Meaning that he really, if he would have gotten the same amount of targets, he would have crushed last year's numbers, or his rookie year, his 2023 numbers. I truly believe everything that went wrong about these dips in numbers. He went from 889 to 726, from 10 to 7 touchdown wise. Receptions 86 to 60. It's all injury. It's all injury. He was never healthy. He started to kick into gear at the end of the year. He scored a touchdown in 2 of the last 3 games that he played. He had a 100-yard game in, I forget if it was like the third or fourth to last game. Let's see here. Let me see if I can pull up his stats and go over Sam Laporta's game log. I think I have it here. It was, so on Sunday, January 5th, 63 yards, no touchdowns, but 7 receptions on 7 targets. Monday, December 30th at San Francisco. This was 6 targets, 6 receptions, and 64 yards and a touchdown. His third game back at Chicago, 7 for 43 and a touch. The game prior to that, 10 targets for 7 receptions and 111 yards. 54 yards the week before that. 2 touchdowns the week before that. Let me put up the game log. These are, I'm not cherry picking, these are his last 7 contests that he played in 2024. And when you extrapolate this, you're getting what he did, if not better, from 2023's rookie campaign. This is what we thought we'd get all year out of Sam Laporta. Again, this top line 1-5 against the Vikings. I'm going backwards. This is most recent game he's played. 763-0, 864-1. I'm reading targets. 763-0, 664-1, 443-1, 7-111, 564, and even though he only had 6 yards, he had 2 touchdowns. That is a freaking amazing string of 6 games. That is what Laporta is going to bring to the table in 2025. And even if he doesn't, even if he brings you his 2024 stats and replicates 800 yards-ish, granted, 726, even if he didn't improve, if he played healthy all year and still played mediocre, you're talking about 800 yards, you're talking about 65 to 70 receptions, you're talking about, let's just keep him at 7 touchdowns. That would be earned at number 62 overall, meaning he is a zero-risk player with upside to win your league. This is a player that arguably, I believe, could have such a strong 2025. In hindsight, he will be worth a late 3rd round pick, mid 3rd round pick, easily top of round 4. He's going in round number 6. He's going 2 rounds later than he should. And even though he's tight end 4, the gap between like Kittle or whoever you're drafting ahead of him is so far away. And part of this is trauma. People are traumatized by the tight ends not coming to play ball last year. You remember how great the tight end room looked in 2024, entering 2024? We all thought this is the greatest tight end ranking set of players we've ever seen in our lives. I don't remember a year being more hyped about the tight end position and saying we've got maybe 12 to 15 really good tight ends that are going to drop a bunch of points, and man, did they disappoint. The tight end position was as underwhelming as can be. Even the top 2 dogs, Brock Bowers and Trey McBride, couldn't score touchdowns. Taysom Hill was one of the best tight ends in the league when he was on the field. This was a bleak year for tight ends. That has caused trauma. That's PTSD. People are scared to draft the tight end position early. And I'm not saying there aren't gems to be had late. A guy like Ben Sinnott, really, really late. Evan Ingram. Why is Evan Ingram being forgotten? This guy's a pretty damn good tight end, and he's going in like the 9 and 10 round range. That's good value. You could wait. You could grab a Godwin. You could grab a David Montgomery and go Evan Ingram. I'm not saying that's not a strategy I'm deploying till the end of time. But this is also, in round 6, a pretty damn good investment with almost zero risk and all upside. I love Sam Laporta. He wins leagues in 2025.
He's on a shuttle to Mars. Mars men.
All right. Got this super chat here from Justin coming in strong. Justin and Daniel, thank you for the super chats. You guys absolutely rock. Let me make sure I fix the alerts in case we get some gifted memberships or anything like that. They will show up on screen appropriately. $50 super chat to start a $25 regular draft. Absolutely. Daniel, absolutely. You drop a $50 super chat, Daniel, I will drop a link to a $25 regular draft, not a best ball big board, like a private league draft that's going to take a little while to fill. You do that, and I will certainly drop that and play against you. And anybody who wants to know what he's talking about, I'll drop a private link. I'll create a league, essentially, on Underdog. $25 entry. First place prize will be, as you get that $50 hauler ready, I'll start setting it up. If I go to the lobby, I click on NFL. Let me create this league real quickly. $25 12-person slow draft. Can we do a slow draft, Justin? It's going to take a while to fill that, so we're going to have to do a slow draft. Is that cool, Justin? Let me wait before I create it. Is that what you're talking about? If I create a slow draft, we put the link out. I'm sure a lot of people will join it, but it might take a little while to fill. And I can't wait on that to fill to do the show, because it could take 20 minutes, 15 minutes to get that many people to want to do the $25 version. But if that's okay with you, I'm going to do that. All right, let's jump into an Underdog draft while we wait for his response. Go to Underdog. And here's the link if anybody wants to partake in the drafting tonight. You're going to hit this link right here. The link's pinned in the live chat. Here's the link right there. I'm going to pin this message because it has a little more information in it. Go ahead and go to the draft tab at the bottom, lobby tab at the top, home tab right below lobby, and you're going to scroll all the way over to the $3 little board. It's a little ways down. Little board, $3, and hit the green button right now. And we'll join that draft. Let me go on over here and share my screen. One more to draft. Okay, we filled it really quickly. You guys are on the money there. This draft begins in 58 seconds. Let me go to board view. Let me share my screen. And we will take phone calls here in a second. Arthur said, Smitty, thank you for another show. You bet, my boy. Thank you for the super chat, Arthur. Arthur to the moon. Thank you, Justin. Justin, I'll await your $50 hauler to start that draft. All right, this is the little board, $3 entries, $25 draft. We will begin shortly as well. It'll be a slow draft, but if we fill it, I'll cycle back and forth between the two drafts if we actually have everybody in here drafting. Justin 499 says, I'll give you $25 for a slow, but $50 for a regular speed. You can just do 6-man for $50 if you need to. The problem is, what if we don't fill it though, Justin? You know what I'm saying? Then we're just sitting here waiting for it. You do whatever you want, but the slow draft will be easier to do that. I could drop it on the way out the door, and we could jump in and I just don't know if we'll fill it right away. Let's see here. Okay, go ahead, Justin. $50 for the regular speed. Drop the $50 hauler. I will drop a $50 for regular speed. You could do a 6-man 50. Let's do a 6-man $50 draft for a $50 super chat, and we'll cycle back and forth if we fill it. If we don't, we just wait. Done deal. Done deal. $50 super chat for me to create a $50 link, draft link, for 6 people to draft in a 6-person draft. This will be interesting. This will be very interesting because it'll be stacked teams to the rafters. All right, so drop it, Justin, and we'll take care of it. Appreciate you dropping the super chat. All right, let's get to this draft right now. Your boy's on the clock. Who's available? CeeDee Lamb, Puka Nacua. I'm a lamb chop guy myself because I like getting lamb.
Get lambed.
All right, here we go. Number 8 overall. What's this guy going to do? He's going to get BT'd. Puka Nacua went 7. Number 9 on the clock. Who do we got in this? BK's in the building. We've got Slater, I believe, is one of our people at the 1 pick. We've got a few people in here that I recognize. Dab, I think, is one of ours. We've got ADP I don't recognize, but that could be one of us. I think these last 2 are from our crew. All right, here we go. Justin's dropping a $50 holler.
$50. Give me $50 holler. Like that bottle, brother Smitty. Give me $50. Oh, yeah.
Now, as soon as here, let me go in there. Okay, so I'm going to go into NFL, find a $50 draft, 6-person draft. Do you just want to jump into the most available one rather than wait for it to fill with our crew? Or I'll just do private link. It's disabled to create a private link. So, Justin, we're going to have to jump into it right now. There's 0 people in this one, $50 entry. If anybody doesn't know how to get there, you just scroll over to NFL instead of home. So you're on the home tab. Let me go back out. You're on the lobby tab. You go to NFL instead of home. Scroll down to the $50 drafts. Make sure you click the 6-person 270 in prizes, 6-person draft. Click enter. I'm waiting in there right now. 5 more to start. Justin, jump into that one. 4 more to start. Don't miss it, Justin. If Justin doesn't get in, I'm going to lose it. Daniel says, damn it, I already spent my 50 on 3 different drafts. Well, Daniel, there's one waiting for you right here. How do you feel about the rookie tight end, says Justin in his question. 3 more to start. Justin, are you in? It's the only $50 draft, 6-person, regular speed, no slow draft. I don't think it listed a slow draft, 6-person, $50. But it's under NFL. He's in. Brock Bowers just went. Let's go. Who do I have so far? I've got CD. Let's go Bucky. Three more to start on the other draft. I might flip over to that draft and then come back to this one. Like I'm not going to make it confusing and jump back and forth, but I might, as this one kicks off, there's 3 more to enter. If anybody wants to get into the one we're talking about, under the lobby tab on drafts at the bottom, lobby tab, instead of home, go over to NFL and then scroll down to the 6-person $50 draft. You have to scroll to the $50 section, and there's 3 more to enter. You might even see it say 3. When you click on it, it'll say 3 of 6 filled or something. Daniel, appreciate you with the super chat. Phone lines are open if you want to dial in to the phone line. I'd be glad to assist you and take your call. Thanks again for the $20 super chat from Daniel earlier in the show. Thank you for the $50 super chat by Justin. 3 more to start that draft. So make sure you get over there, guys. Again, go to drafts at the bottom of the Underdog app. Instead of, you'll be on lobby, and then on the sub menu, instead of home, go to NFL, and then scroll down to the $50 section, 6-person draft. 3 more are needed to begin that draft. And then I'm going to be on the clock here in a second, and the best players available are as follows: Tyreek Hill, T. Higgins, Terry McLaurin, Garrett Wilson, JSN, Lamar Jackson. Tyreek Hill just went. I would have definitely entertained Tyreek Hill as my 3rd drafted player there. I think it's a decent pick at this point. We've got T. Higgins just went, and now I'm on deck. ADP's in the hole, and Dab is on the clock. What's up, Travis? You're live.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. We need 3
when
more.
You get a chance. Caden had a good question in the chat.
I'm on the clock. Jaden, okay. I'm gonna go. Man, what do I do here, guys? I got Bucky and CeeDee Lamb already. Do I go Kyron or do I go JSN?
I like JSN, CD and JSN, but
I'm gonna try a
it
RB.
depends on the running backs too, though.
I'm gonna assume that the RBs. Yeah, I'm gonna go Bucky and Kyron. I like that. That's good. All right, whose question?
So Caden was asking. He traded Laporta for the 1.07. He has Njoku, and he also has picks 1.04 and 1.06 just for contact.
1.04, 1.06. Okay, that doesn't really affect too much because at the end of the day, what is the value? You know, what you have shouldn't make you make deals or something. Oh, I've got other picks, so I'm going to give a deal out. At the end of the day, yeah, I like the JSN or Kyron pick for me here. It was a toss-up. At the end of the day, I would rather have Laporta than the 1.7, but as I always say, when I'm on the clock, I might change my mind. You know, like if I had the patience to wait on the pick, I very much could like the pick as much. It could be Scattaboo. I mean, he could be in a great spot, and we're like still seeing him sitting there, because the wide receivers fly off the board, or it could be Caleb Johnson, Scattaboo, and Hampton all still in pretty good spots, even though Genty, you never know. We got 3 more to begin this draft that we're trying to do this $25 draft, everybody. So make sure you get on over there. You're going to select, again, go to the Underdog main screen. You can even close Underdog and reopen it if you're confused at where you're at. Make sure drafts is selected at the bottom, lobby at the top, and instead of home, the sub menu, you want to go over to NFL, which is at the far end of the little sub menu, and then you're gonna scroll down to the $50 section and click on the 6-person draft. This is what I was saying, Justin. I didn't know if we'd fill it quickly because I don't know. People just have they like doing the $2 and the $3 and $10 drafts usually live, so it's gonna take a little while to fill. But the prizes are kind of cool in this draft because first place gets 162, second gets 108, and then no third place, no fourth place, no money back. It's 162 to first and 108 to second. I really like this idea, Justin, because I like doing these little, like higher stake best ball drafts. Confused at where you're at. I feel like Smitty was talking to me. I don't know what you mean, Sick Nasty. Let me know. Almost on the clock again here in this draft where I've got CD, Bucky, and Kyron. Here are the teams so far. Team number 12, Henry, Drake, London, Rice, Cook. This team 11, Malik, Devon Achane, Garrett Wilson, Jaden Daniels, really nice. Amon-Ra, McCaffrey, JSN, and Hurts, pretty good. Nico, Ashton, Genty, Mike Evans, and on the clock, and you just took DJ Moore. Brian Thomas Jr., Lab McConkey, Marvin Harrison, and player to be determined here. ADP, that next draft slot, number 7, has Puka, Bowers, and Lamar, and then is on the clock. After this pick goes through, then it's up to me. He took Xavier Worthy. He went 4 straight wide receivers. He's using last year's playbook. All right. Tet McMillan, DK Metcalf, I kind of like here. Devontae Smith, Jamison Williams, I like all these players here. Don't have a quarterback, so I could go Joseph Cigar Smoking Burrow if I wanted. Ted McMillan, why not?
Yeah, I'd do it.
Why not? Balls to the wall.
He's going to get targets. Wherever he goes, he's getting a lot of targets.
I feel like if he goes to New England, it's going to be 1,000 yards minimum. And it might just be 1,000 even, whatever. And 7 touchdowns. You know, I feel like that Ted McMillan's worst season is 1,000 yards and 7 touchdowns, I think. I think. That feels like his worst.
Yeah, I agree with that.
His worst. Daniel says, I'm on the draft. Let's do this, biatches, says Daniel. One more to start in the draft. In the $50 draft. Daniel, you're in the $50 one, right? $50 section. Scroll down to the $50 section.
That'll be an interesting one. Because only 6 people, so it'd be a little different strategy.
You're in the $50 one, right, Daniel? I just want to make sure you're not in the 25 because we did change it. I'm pretty sure I didn't mess up and say 25 at any point, but okay. We started off talking about 25, but we did the $50 one. Okay, so CD, Bucky, Kyron, Ted McMillan. Feeling pretty good about this squad so far.
I like that.
One more to begin the other draft. I'm going to venture back to this one we're showing here, but once the 6-person, $50 per person draft begins, I'm going to switch over to that one. And I'm going to try not to be confusing by going back and forth, but I will show both of them at some point. But I'm going to draft both on my phone and then also show the $50 draft on screen, which will be fun. One more to join. If you want to know how to join the $50 draft, you're going to go to the Underdog app. If you're lost at where you're at, just quit it, reopen it. Once it opens, make sure you click draft at the bottom, click lobby at the top, and then instead of home, the sub menu, go over to NFL, scroll about halfway down to the $50 section, 6-man league. Never mind, it just filled. It just filled. All right, let me go over to that. Am I on the clock? No, I'm not. I'm drafting from the 3 spot. Yeah, buddy. Justin's in the 2. Okay, let me make this pick real quick and then I'll switch over to that. Okay, I'm on the clock here. Let's go with the man of the hour, Laporta.
Nice, good balance. Sorry.
It's a little earlier than I want, but I'm not gonna. He's going at 6'2", 6.3, and I'm not gonna. He's not gonna make it back to me, so I'm fine there. Let me swing on out of this one, go into the other draft. Hold on, I gotta quit the app. For some reason on my iPad, I have to close out or it doesn't show any new drafts. Okay, go to draft, active. Draft starts in 2 seconds. Let me share screen. Okay, here we go. This is a 6-person, $50 per person draft where the prize money is $162 to first, $108 to second, 6-person draft. So everyone's team's going to be stacked. This is going to be an entertaining draft to say the least.
If I know you got a lot going on, if you get a chance, can you throw the number up on the screen? I saw someone asking about.
Yeah, he's got to wait a minute.
Yeah. I figured. I know you got a lot going on.
Okay, so on the clock here, it went Chase and JJ. Do I go Bijan or Gibbs?
Oh man.
I want to go
Flip
Bijan.
a coin.
I want to go Bijan.
Gut feeling.
Okay, I went Bijan. I went Barkley.
The way I go.
It went Gibbs.
Can't go wrong.
So it's 6-man. Chase, JJ,
This
Bijan,
that'll
Barkley,
move fast.
Gibbs. The elite running backs are going to fly off the board though. That's why I went RB. because I don't want to miss out on these RBs. I feel like it's a tough. Neighbors already went. Devon Achane. And then Puka. So, Nico Amon-Ra or BT?
Wow. Man, I love Nico, but you can't go wrong again. In the first couple of rounds. 6-man.
I'm going to go St. Brown here. St. Brown. So, Bijan, St. Brown. Don't hate it. If I wasn't
safer too.
If I wasn't drafting with my people, I would have got Neighbors.
Yeah.
I would have definitely got Neighbors.
I like the 6 person, how it swings back so quick.
That other draft, I got sniped pretty hard at quarterback. Okay, where's Daniel at? Daniel, you're number 6, right? Lamb and Neighbors. Yeah, that's why you're saying you got him. Got him. Got him. Got him. BT. Okay, BT. Genty, McCaffrey, Drake London. I'm gonna go Genty.
I was just gonna say I like Genty there.
I'm gonna go Genty.
Man, Genty and Bijan. That's a pair.
Mm-hmm. Brock Bowers, Drake London, JT. We're all stacked. I mean, we're all just absolutely stacked. I mean, look, CD, Malik, JT, Bucky. I mean, jeez. Trey McBride, nice pick. Very underrated pick right there. Saquon Puka, Brock Bowers, and AJ Brown. That's sick.
Yeah, McBride's gonna have way more touchdowns, obviously, this year. I think Arizona fixes that offense. Maybe not, but you got to try.
I'm going to go Breece Hall here.
Ooh. Stacked running back.
RB stackage. Josh Allen.
There's something to that in a 6-man league, though, you know.
Yeah, there's something to waiting and something to not waiting. There's arguments to be made for sure on both sides. You know, because you're going to say, okay, with the worst case scenario, someone's going to have a really good quarterback and they can get a better. But, you know, it definitely is. Kyron. So team 1 is Jamar Chase, Nico, Josh Jacobs, Kyron. Nice team. But we all have nice teams. I mean, team number 2, Justin, he has Jefferson, Henry, BT, and Josh Allen.
Yeah.
It's so tough. 6-person draft, it's like, I mean, it's tough. I'll open the phone line in a second, Joe. Just give me a second. Terry McLaurin. And then Justin's on the clock here. He goes Chase Brown. Chase Brown. I guess I'll go. Oh, no. I'm going to go JSN. I was going to go Tyreek, but you know what? I'm going to go JSN. So I have Bijan, Amon-Ra, Genty, Breece Hall, JSN. I like it.
Nice.
We're all absolutely stacked. I'm kind of letting this other draft slip a little. I got a good team though. I got screwed at quarterback because we're an early quarterback mentality show, and so they all got picked up. But I took Bo Nix and Kyler in best ball. I don't mind because you don't have to decide when to start him. And so I went Bo Nix and Kyler as my quarterbacks. I got Bucky and Kyron. I got CD and Ted McMillan and Sam Laporta. So decent team, but okay. Here we go. It went Tyreek, Ladd. I was tempted to go McCaffrey that last pick. I really was. I'll go Jalen Hurts here. So I got Bijan, St. Brown, Genty, Breece Hall, JSN, Jalen Hurts, Joe Burrow just went. I might have ignited a quarterback run. James Cook. What's up, Rock Out? Here's the phone line for Joe. Joe, here's the phone line.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
All right. Almost on the clock again. What's up, Rock Out? What do you got? Matto, we'll see you later, bro. All right. MHJ, Evans, Worthy, JSN, Mixon. Ooh. Do I trust MHJ here? Let's go Worthy. I felt kind of bold because I felt like I was thinking I was going to go Evans whenever I was faced with that situation, but I went Worthy. What's up, Rock Out? You're live. Rock Out.
Go.
I got a quick little number for you.
Okay.
Smitty.
Hold on 1 second, 812. I'll get to you. What's your name, first of all, 812? Where are you calling from?
Evansville, Indiana.
What's your name?
My name is Joe.
Joe. Okay, Joe, hang tight real quickly. Mute if you could, and then I'm going to go to Rock Out and then back to you. So, Joe,
yes, sir.
Joe from Indy. Okay. Go ahead, Rock Out. What were you saying?
Hey, a quick little number for you.
Okay.
Laporta, we be eating, defeating the all level, double trouble, bubble, rebel through the jungle, taking over tight ends. This is how we get in person on the scene. In between the dream, never dream, the dream team, the mean supreme, taking over. This is how we get it.
We gotta be careful. Rock Out's gonna get taken from us, and before we know it, he'll be signed to a label, and we'll never get him back. Hold on 1 second. Let me make my draft pick real quickly. Oh man, I'll go Rushy Rice. So I went Worthy and Rice. I got JSN. I got Amon-Ra St. Brown. I got Bijan, Genty, Breece Hall. Got Jalen Hurts. Feeling pretty decent about that squad. All right, go ahead, Joe. You're live. Thank you, Rock Out, for that serenation. You're live, Joe.
Hey, Smitty, real quick, I just want to let you know that you're the man, first of all.
Thank you.
One question I have, or actually two, one's more of a statement. I think that Bucky Irving, not actually Bucky Irving, Breece Hall. Breece Hall is the Josh Jacobs of what Josh Jacobs was like this year.
Yeah. Exactly. 100%.
Yeah, he's like the third round, fourth round steal.
Yeah. Like bad year, people gave up on him. Yeah, bad year in between good years. People gave up on him. It's a perfect example for sure.
Exactly, yeah. Okay, my second question. So considering that the Buccaneers lost their OC and Liam Conan, do you think that Bucky Irving is a valuable pickup in the third round, even though that, offensive coordinator is gone?
Let me think about that.
We really don't know what's going on.
Let me think about that.
The Saturn Men.
One small step for man, one giant leap for
Saturn.
Get buckied. Buckied.
The answer is yes. I love him. Not worried.
Hey, I agree, man. I love Bucky. He won me my league this year. He's the man. I don't know. I don't know what to or when to pick him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to pick too high because I am really high on Bucky, just like I have been on like Jahmyr Gibbs and K9. I just don't want to go too high on him.
Yeah,
Whenever I go into
third
my
round
redraft
is not
next
too
year.
high. To answer your question, third round is not too high because people were saying he was going to be a second rounder. I was arguing that he was going to fall, and he did fall, and he's a tremendous value, a very, very good value. Hold on one second. Let me make this pick real quick. Oh boy, I don't know what to do here.
What do you got?
Not enough time to explain, so I'm going to go Adams. I was timing out. So real quickly, just so everyone knows what my, well, depends where it was, right? Here's my team. I got Jalen Hurts and Mahomes. I got Bijan, Genti, and Breece Hall. This is a 6-man draft, by the way, in case you're here late. This is a 6-man, $50 per entry draft where $162 goes to first place, best ball. You stay within this crew the whole year. You don't break out. It's just us 12 against each other. 162 to first, 108 to second, 6 people, $50 a pop, private league. We need to do more of these. Justin, this was a great idea. So it's 6-person, but I got Hurts, Mahomes, Bijan, Genti, Hall, Amon-Ra, JSN, Worthy, Rashee Rice, Adams. So I got Worthy, Rice, and Mahomes, and to me that's a great play in best ball. Addison, Olave, Marion Hampton. I might go Hampton here. Kamara's there. I don't know. I don't know if I trust Kamara. I'm going to go Hampton. I'm going to take a gamble. Good team. Good team. Oh, the receivers. Did I read off the receivers? Receivers, I've got St. Brown, JSN, Worthy, Rice, and Adams.
Yeah,
I love Worthy.
Fifth receiver is awesome.
Yeah, Hampton is an RB.
Yeah, I think Worthy and Rice together with Mahomes. That's nice.
Yeah.
It's cool for best ball.
Yeah, I agree.
The days that they do go off, it's going to be good.
One question, Spitty. The only other thing that I also have a question about is Bucky Irving's breakaway speed, like that home run hitting speed. That Jahmyr Gibbs has.
Let me check.
Get Buckied.
Get Buckied.
I look. He had plenty. Like the weird, and I'm not saying take a lap necessarily, but it's almost like a take a lap comment because, bro, he was nonstop busting loose on huge monster runs. Like there wasn't a game it seemed where he wasn't ripping off some sort of 30, 40, 50-yard run. So I don't really know why that would even enter your mind. I'm gonna go Godwin.
I don't know either. It's just something I had a question about.
But
I agree. His vision is spectacular.
I venture to say, I timed out in the other draft. Damn it. Jordan Love. I got 3 QBs now. Okay, so let me go to most 20-yard runs NFL 2024. Let me see if I can pull this up. We all know Barkley's probably number one. Where's Bucky on this?
I believe Bucky is one of the top 10 running backs in the league.
Yeah, but you have but do you? And I love you, pal, and I don't want you to be discouraged to call in because I'm not blasting you. I would send you on a lap if I was. But do you love him? Because you've been on the phone line for about. You've been on the phone. Hold on. You've been on the phone line for about 6-7 minutes straight, and nothing but rebuttals for why Bucky is concerning to you. So all I'm saying is, I wouldn't worry about it. The guy's done nothing but produce. It's not like you're spending second round value. Everybody expected him on this channel to have second round ADP. And he's going in the third round. He's a second round player. If he even is remotely close to a top 10 running back, you're getting your value. He's almost the best low risk player in round 3 period. He's going to have 1,200 total yards. Let's call it 1,100 total yards and like 8 touchdowns, very worst case, and that's going to be enough. He's done nothing but rip off run after run after run. There's probably no player I would like more on my team. And remember, he didn't get going all year. He wasn't like starting all year. there isn't a player I can think of more for big plays than, a handful of players, and Bucky's on that. Maybe on two hands I could come up with big play breakaway players for, monster. Like he's going to be in the top 10 in 20-plus yard runs.
I think Bucky even lost out on points opportunities based on the goal line touches, 100%. But, I'm even comparing him to Zach Charbonnet. I love Charbonnet, and he's going late, compared to Bucky. So, I just don't want to be picking too high on a running back,
Yeah, I hear you. Okay, so here's my team. I'm up in 3 picks. My team so far: Jalen Hurts, Mahomes, Bijan, Genty, Breece Hall, Hampton. Remember, 6-man league. St. Brown, JSN, Worthy, Rice, Adams, Godwin, Debo. Almost on the clock here. Yeah, you're overthinking. You're overthinking Bucky, bro. There's no risk. There's just no risk, man.
Okay. So, third round, second, is that too early or no?
Well, yeah, because you don't need to draft him earlier than that. So, for sure, it's too early.
Yeah, okay. Well, I appreciate it, Smitty. Thank you.
All right, bro. Later. What are we doing here? What are we doing back there? Let's go. Agbuka. Oh, I timed out. Who'd I get? Calvin Ridley? What in the... Son of a biscuit. What are we doing back there? Why didn't I cue somebody like I always preach? Gotta be kidding me. Calvin mother-freaking Ridley. You son of a bee. You son of a bee. Go ahead, rock out. What else you got? Rock out. You're live, rock out. It takes so long to hear from him from Mars. It's such a delay.
Beaming in from outer space.
Rock out, are you there? Hello?
Signal traveling.
Relaying it off of the moon.
He's way out of space.
I don't know where he is.
Way out there.
The funny thing is, I missed my pick, and I still, it's almost like because of the 6-man draft, it's like the ADP or the pre-rank list is barely moving. It's like all the guys that I was thinking about taking are still there. Rock out.
What's that? Actually,
there you are.
There he is.
Took a while. We were trying to get a hold of you.
I hear you.
Agbuka, I guess. What's up, Rock Out? You're in the building.
But yeah, I think Laporta is a good value, and he also had a touchdown in a good game, even against the Commanders in the playoff game.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
I just had someone earlier say they were worried about his targets. Sorry, Rocco. I was just going to say, someone's worried about his targets, but I'm not too worried about that because he started the season banged up, and there was only 4 guys over 100 targets that were tight ends last year. So.
All right, I'm almost on the clock here. Board view. Aaron Jones. Let's go. How many rounds is this?
Maybe 20.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Hopefully it's 20. I guess I'll take Evan Ingram here before I get screwed out of the tight end position completely. Board view
Might as well.
on the clock in this other draft.
My bad, Rocco. What were you saying, though? I didn't mean to jump on you.
No, you're good. How would Laporta stack up to McBride? I know they're pretty close.
I think he could. I think he could out. I would not bet that Laporta outscores McBride. Let me make that abundantly clear. McBride is by far and away my number 2 tight end, and even could rival Bowers as the number 1. Like if McBride got 10 touchdowns, he would have crushed. He would have been. Yeah, everyone would have been drafting him in the second round this year. So I would probably say, like, you know, he's probably my third tight end. You know, I just think he's going to be right behind the boys.
And Kyron always likes to go to the tight end, so there you go.
ETN.
Hopefully he gives him more to Harrison.
So 2 more picks left. Oh, man. I don't know what to do here. Kind of feel like I could screw myself if I stack these positions too much. And I got Mahomes and Hurts. I don't know that I need another quarterback. I usually go 3 because, like, if Mahomes gets, you know, or I won't even say Mahomes, knock on wood. If your quarterback goes out for the year and then you have your other quarterback that has not yet had his bye week, then it's a problem. But I also don't want to be.
Oh yeah, that's the risk if they both have the same bye week.
That, or if one goes down and then the other one hasn't had his bye yet, or you know. Okay, so on the clock here, I'm gonna go. Do you guys got like Pitts or Isaiah Likely?
I love Likely. I mean,
Pitts probably could be good with better position.
I'm gonna go Likely in this.
Pitts is better position, but
I'm gonna
Likely, I don't know.
Likely's more likely.
Pitts could disappear for a whole year.
Yeah, and if they ever use Likely like they should,
he's a little more likely.
Yeah.
He's a little more likely.
And he's on the decline, you know.
Mm-hmm. So I got to decide if I want to go with a third tight end, or do I want to go with another RB? The thing that's a little concerning about my running back stable, and I'm not saying it's concerning like all that much, but is that I got Bijan, Genty, and Hall. If like one was to go down or something, Hampton's not a lock at this point. Caleb Johnson is not a lock at this point. Etienne's not a lock. So I'm very tempted to go RB here, but I'm also looking at this saying, you know, Likely is not a lock, and Ingram's been injury prone. So I'm running the risk of going light at tight end, but I almost feel like I'd rather secure the running backs and the flex up more. So kind of tough. Kind of tough. God, there's so many great players left.
It would depend on who the tight end would be. Like, are they really going to score you that many points?
Well, Ferguson and Pitts are still there. It's not bad. But now that I'm on the clock, I can say it.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to go Bigsby and just kind of lock up that ETN Bigsby combo. So there it is. I'm going to do that. I'm going to go light at the tight end
Wide
position.
receiver room is crazy.
Yeah, so we'll see what the projections are after this, and then we'll go back over to the other draft, which I've timed out, I think, twice in, because I've been preoccupied on this $50 entry one. I got the 2 super chats from Daniel and Superfish. I'm coming for you in 1 second. Just hang tight. Appreciate you both. Let me throw those on.
Superfish, nice.
Yeah, I got to go over the winners, and maybe we even do that right now and vote on it. The winners of the $50 board. That way I can clear it and then start it over right now. Like moving forward, $50 super chats. Justin, that means you get one. All right, so look at the projections here. 4,000 to Daniel. They like your team the most, Daniel. Your team is as follows. JD5, Purdy, Goff, Drake May, JT, Bucky, Mixon, Kamara, Pollard, CD, Neighbors, Ladd, JMO, Tet, Olave, McMillan, both McMillans, Kittle, and Njoku. I like it. We got Justin with Josh Allen, Burrow, Love, Henry, Chase Brown, Monty, James Conner, JJBT. I mean, these are all stacked teams. It's like there's no bad team here. New Age, look at his team. New Age, glad to see you, pal. Lamar, thank you for all your support, by the way. I thanked you last night. Not sure if you were there. Look at this squad. Lamar, Kyler, Gibbs, Achan, Scattaboo, London, Tyreek, Marvin, DK, McBride, great squad. Warren, your boys' squad, Jalen Hurts, Mahomie. Hold on, I'm on the clock on this other one real quick. Hold on. Let's go Whittington. Okay. So Jalen Hurts, Mahomes, Bijan Genty, Breece Hall, Hampton, Caleb Johnson, Travis Etienne, and Bigsby cuffed. Amon-Ra, JSN, Worthy, Rashee Rice, Adams, Godwin, Debo, Ridley got timed out on, Igbuka, Evan Ingram, and Likely. All really good teams. These are all really good teams. Just to show everybody's real quickly, this is the 1.1. It's good. Justin Madden. Caleb, Tua, Baker. Look, Baker gets no respect. He deserves respect. I'm not trying to diminish him, but 6-man league, I thought you'd have some, like, a big gun. But maybe Baker's going to be your big gun. Maybe Caleb will be your big gun. Barkley, McCaffrey, Chuba. Some rookies. Puka, A.J. Brown, Garrett Wilson, good. Evans, wow. Brock Bowers, Goddard, Kate Otten. I like it. And then, yeah, here's I went over your team already. Bucky, nice. Good squads. All right, let me get back over to the other draft real quickly. 3 picks away on the little board that we're doing live here. 2 picks away. Let me review my team for everybody. I got Bo Nix, Kyler, and I timed out on Jordan Love. Bucky, Kyron, ETN, Bigsby, Dylan Sampson, CeeDee Lamb, Tet McMillan, Jalen McMillan, Jordan Whittington, Sam Laporta, Evan Ingram. And now I'm on the clock. Jeez. I don't even know what to pick here. Kind of would like a receiver, but good Lord. I'm going to time out. I'm just going to go Ollie Gordon. My receivers are very thin. 4 wide receivers. This is the result of having to do 2 drafts at the same time. I couldn't balance it out. Super chat here. You have to review every team early season review. So we did that. They all look good. There's no way to even project who's got the best team on that. 6-man league. I don't know. I'm not going to lie. I love my team. Let's go to Joe from Indy. Joe, you're live from Indy. What's up, my boy?
Hey, we're from Evansville, Indiana, not Indy.
You're from Indiana, Indy.
Evansville, Indiana.
What's wrong with Indy?
Oh, man. Indy is, I don't know. It's chaotic up there. Let me tell you that.
You're from Indiana. You're from Indy. That's what we call Indy, Indiana.
Really? I didn't know that.
I mean, bro, you're the one that lives there. I half my family's from Indiana.
Hey, I call myself a Hoosier.
Okay,
hey, we're Hoosiers here,
but,
man.
Bro.
Oh, is it because it's Indianapolis?
Yeah, but I mean, bro, half my family's from Indiana. Like I know Indiana well, but like I didn't realize there was a way you would assume Indy is not. I don't know why. I don't understand that. The Indy 500, Indy 500.
Nah, man. Hey, it's okay.
No, I know it's okay. I'm just trying to figure out what makes you not like. How long have you lived there? Are you brand new to Indiana?
No, I'm not brand new. I'm born and raised here, man.
And you just no one ever calls Indiana Indy at all? That's just
no. Indy is Indianapolis, and I'm from Evansville. So we rep it here.
I get
Evansville, Southern Indiana.
Okay. I mean, you've lived there. I grew up going back and forth to Indiana, but I can't say that I've lived there. So
like I live right next to the Peyton Manning Hospital down here in Evansville, Indiana.
I don't know, man. Is anybody else from Indiana?
I'm just trying to put it on the map.
Is anybody else from Indiana want to confirm this? We got is a 407 your area code? We got a 407 caller.
812.
Okay, hold
812.
on. 407. What's your name and where you calling from? And then I'm going to put you on hold.
Orlando.
Okay, hold on. What's your name, bro? From Orlando.
Daniel.
All right.
Daniel.
All right. Oh, Daniel. All right. Hang tight, Daniel.
Yeah.
All right.
Fireman.
All right. Mute real quick, and I'll be right over. Daniel from Florida. Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead, Indianapolis.
Smitty, take that right back. Hey, real quick, what do you think about Cam Ward as a pick in fantasy football? Like, what round's a good round for him? Because I like him. I like him as far as compared to, like, Michael Penix. But I think he's even better than Michael Penix.
Not to say he can't be better than Michael Penix Jr. I'm not saying he can't, because I like Cam Ward a lot. But I don't know that I would be taking him where you're taking Michael Penix Jr., which is like 10, 11 territory. But I mean,
so like a round 7, round 8.
In what, Dynasty?
No, redraft.
Round 7 or round 8? No.
Yeah.
No.
Like my only QB pick.
No.
This is just a reach.
No.
You know.
No.
Like.
No.
Hey, I'm gonna draft this quarterback. I hope he hits.
No. Why would you
like
do that? Why would you do that when you can get him like miles down the road? You're not talking about like drafting him 1 round early. You're talking about taking him at a crazy territory, one that you would greatly regret. I'm going to time out, so I had to just take somebody. I don't even. Do I even have a tight end? I think I have. Oh God!
I like his confidence. I like the way he's speaking to the media.
Irrelevant.
And I like the film that I've looked at. As far as like his twitch, he's got a quick release.
I got
much quicker than Shedeur Sanders.
I got it, Joe. But it's
irrelevant. Defense is better than Shedeur for sure.
Joe. But it's irrelevant. That's like saying. Those are like justifications, Oh, I like that house, so I overspent by $100,000. It was $400,000 appraised, but I bought it for $500. Well, you shouldn't have, Joe. And you say, oh, but I really like the backyard. The school system is great. I do think someday it's going to be worth $600,000. Doesn't matter, Joe. You bought a $400,000 house for $500,000. Like you said Cam Ward in round 7.
I see your point.
Round 7, you can make your statement at his ADP. His ADP is.
Hey, I took CJ Stroud at 5th round last season, and I won my league, and he was a bust. So I mean,
again, irrelevant.
I don't know. I'm just.
None of those things matter, Joe. You can't be making decisions in life because you have this justification for it. You got to spend the value that is required to get the player. If we go to Cam Ward, his ADP, my guy, is 153 overall. 153 overall. That is, just so you know, we look at this draft board right here, 153 overall puts him at round 13. You're trying to make justifications to take a 13th round player, not in round 12. Not even in round 11, but round 7 because of CJ Stroud. Or because you like him. Or because you think, bro, why not make the same statement in like round 12?
So, my rebuttal would be, I like the stack of Cam Ward if he gets drafted by the Giants with Neighbors. I love Neighbors. I like that stack.
Joe, are you trolling me right now?
No, not at all. I love Cam Ward, man. I've been studying his film.
You got to be trolling me. There's no way you're serious right now.
No, I'm very serious. I'm trying to reach for those guys that are like the gold in the dust.
As I'm yelling at him, I'm reaching because I'm timing out. You're not listening to me though, Joe. You said your rebuttal was that I couldn't wait to hear it, so I sat back in my chair and I'm like, okay, what's his rebuttal? Your rebuttal is you like to stack Cam Ward. What did you even say? Cam Ward with who?
With Neighbors.
Okay, so you're assuming where he goes. You don't even know that. Number one. Number two, that is mother freaking irrelevant.
But wait.
It's
Man,
irrelevant.
We're in the season of absolutes right now.
Joe, can't you? No, Joe, hold on. Joe,
we're in the absolutes.
Joe, even if you want to stack him with Neighbors, that doesn't justify taking him in round 7. You're not hearing me. He's going in round 13.
Okay, so round 13.
So make your statement.
I haven't like drafted this year. I'm curious.
Make your statement in round 11, round 12, whatever.
Okay.
But so you can't. You're using these justifications that are not related. Everything you're saying you can still do. You're just doing it in round 7, bro. It doesn't matter. Let me tell you something, Joe. You could call back in and say, Smitty, you owe me an apology. I drafted Cam Ward in round 7.
No.
Listen, Joe, listen to me. One problem is you don't listen. Just listen to me. You could call me back in December and let's say Cam Ward's a top 5 quarterback, and you could say, Smitty, you owe me an apology. You know what I'd say to you? Take a lap, because I still told you to draft him. I'm not telling you not to draft Cam Ward. I've been telling you, screaming for 5 minutes, that you draft him before his ADP, not 7 rounds before his ADP. That no one's saying don't take him. No one's saying don't believe in him. No one's saying don't go get the stack of Neighbors and Ward. No one's saying any of that. But you got to look at ADP, bro. ADP helps you not where you're drafting a player based on the pre-rank list, but knowing what you can get away with. Plain and simple. All right. I'm starting to think, Joe, no offense. Joe, I love you, and I want you to call back in. I'm not mad at you at all. But part of me is thinking you can't be right on this anything. You can't be right on this anything, because the rationale that you've portrayed so far on this show makes me feel like that there are people in Indiana that say Indy. You know, like I got to fly back to Indy for a business meeting. What? Can anybody from Indiana please call in?
I'm just saying, I've looked at the film for K9. I've looked at the film for Jay Gibbs. Like, even before I found you, man. I'm not saying I'm a genius, but you know, whenever I feel like I see talent, you know, there's talent there. But what I'm wondering is, you know, is it a good stack to, like, okay, is Cam Ward better than Kyler Murray?
We don't know. Could be. He could be. He could very well be. Look.
Would you draft Cam Ward before Kyler Murray?
No, you're good. Joe, this is for your own good. Doesn't mean you can't call back in 10 minutes.
Finish him.
All right, love you. Love you, Smitty.
Call terminate.
Love you, I got you.
What is going on with this guy?
Indy Joe.
He's not. Yeah, we got to rename.
Genius,
he's not. I'm not a genius, but.
What a lie.
What? Where's Kyler's ADP? Let's just. I got to make this pick, and then we'll go look at it. I'm on the clock. Oh, damn it! I'm going to time out. I've been messing this draft up entirely. I completely.
Wherever it is, take him.
All right.
6 rounds ahead.
Yeah. Let's go to his ADP. And because I just told him to draft Cam Ward in round 12. I literally just spent like 8 minutes. I'm going to go to you next, Daniel. Daniel, you still there? And then I got to read Superfish's $10 hauler. I just spent, 7-8 minutes talking to him about round 12. Kyler Murray's going at 90. Where is he going? 90? Something like that? So we're talking about roughly round 8-9, and like I said, Cam Ward round 13. It's like it wasn't sinking in what I was telling him. He just wasn't having it. Like the next question out of his mouth could have said, "But if I like Cam over, let's say Mahomes, should I take Cam instead of Mahomes?" Like it wasn't sinking in. All right, Dan, real quick, and then or. Not real quick, but Dan, and then I got to read Superfish's question here. Superfish, you still there? Go ahead, Dan. You've been waiting a long time. Dan, I think you're on mute.
Hey, buddy?
You're on mute. There you go, Dan.
You talking to me, buddy?
Is this Dan?
Yeah. This is the fireman, Dan.
Then I am talking to you. What's up?
Hey, listen, buddy. I just want to let you know that I like to mess with you on the chat and everything else.
Okay.
But I really appreciate your energy and everything else. And I'm new to this game. It's my first time. Last year was my first time ever playing this whole fantasy thing. And man, I'm all on board with you, brother.
I can't tell, Dan. I can't tell by your endless super chats. Are you?
I'm hiding in a garage.
Are you supporting me, Dan? I don't feel like you're supporting me, Dan. I've got a whole. I'm surrounded by your super chats tonight, Dan. $20 holler.
Listen. I'm hiding in the garage right now talking to you. So my wife, I don't wake my wife up. I'm on the East Coast, brother. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning.
Are you from Indy? Do you know anything about that? I mean, my whole half my family's from Indiana, and we've called it Indy before. It's Indy 500. I know it's Indianapolis 500, so they call it Indy. So maybe it is. Maybe it is one of those things like people from Oregon, they say Oregon, but people that have moved to Oregon that live there say Oregon. So like maybe it's something like that. I don't know, but I mean, I feel like it's something I should have known, given how much time I've spent in Indiana. But to be fair, a lot of the time was in Indianapolis or right outside. So it would make sense that for years I'm like going to Indy and they're like, oh, Indianapolis. And I was. So maybe I'm completely off. I don't know. But the only thing is I can't trust that guy, Joe. So I need somebody else to corroborate.
Steve Smitty Morris in the chat.
Smitty.
Yeah.
Smitty.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is your fireman.
Yeah.
Daniel.
Uh-huh.
Daniel. This
Yeah.
is your fireman.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Indianapolis.
No, I was just seeing if you had any insight on it. It's fine. I was just saying that you heard Joe and I arguing about it. You heard Joe and I argue.
I did hear it.
Yeah,
I did hear it.
Okay.
I did hear it. But there's no argument about Central Florida. I mean, I'm from Orlando, buddy. There's no, you're from Florida or you're not. There's no Indy. There's none of that shit stuff. Sorry.
There's no Florida. You're not from Florida.
I'm from Florida.
I just don't understand. How could you not? How could there be an aversion, unless like you're saying, Travis, or that Indy was so designated to Indianapolis that you can't use it because it's already taken for Indiana. I don't know, maybe, but Indiana Jones, yeah, Indiana.
There's nothing taken from Florida. You cannot confuse Florida.
Right, correct. My dad lived in Indiana after college, and he called it Indy. So that's
listen,
Smitty. Sorry, I'm stuck on this. Yeah.
Smitty, are you there?
Dan, I've been here. I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, brother, listen to me.
I am.
We play games in the firehouse.
Yes.
Sometimes I send messages to you, and I'm just playing games with you, brother. I'm just playing games with you.
I
That's
know.
all.
Dan, I like I said, I put all your super chats on screen, and I was joking back with you, and I just said that I don't think you're supporting the channel, Dan.
Yeah.
I'm not offended,
brother.
Dan.
We're just joshing. We're having a good time.
I'm not offended, Dan. I'm not offended at all. I appreciate you. I got thick skin.
All right, my man.
You can hang. You can hang on the phone line here if you want. You can hang on the phone line if you want. Let me.
This is last year was my first time ever playing fantasy football.
Yeah.
And I found you.
Attaboy.
And let me tell you something. I love you, bro. I love your energy.
Thank you, Dan.
And
twice.
It's 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm standing in my garage right now, so my wife doesn't hear me talking to you.
Yeah. Attaboy, Dan. Way to stand up for all men that go in the pantry to listen to this channel. I love it.
Yeah. And,
I give up on this.
I want to tell you one more thing.
Yeah.
I work for the fire service, and I got 2 boys that are serving with the military, and I'm so very proud of them. They're away from home, and we miss them. And they do fantasy football as well. And I just want to say, God bless America.
God bless America. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Dan. Appreciate you. All right, hang tight, Dan. You can mute real quick if you want to. If you want to mute from the pantry, you can mute from the pantry. Just hang tight. Let me circle around the phone line real quickly. We got John, and then over to Knapp from Wisconsin. John, you're live, John. Oh, hold on, John. I'm sorry. Let me read Superfish's damn message. I've been putting Superfish's message off. Just drafted JD5, Love, Penix Jr., H.N., Bucky, Ray Davis, Jaden Reed, McMillan, Mooney, J-Mo. I would like to see you have better wide receivers, but this is still a good team. I wonder where you win a rye. I'm not saying you win a rye, but let's see here. JD5, Love, H.M., Bucky, Jaden Reed. It just seems like you're missing somebody. So your first rounder was H.N. Your second rounder had to have been Bucky. Third rounder had to have been JD5 and then J-Mo. So I think where you went awry is you took Bucky a round too early. You took JD5 a round too early. Not because they can't earn it, but just based on the ADP and what you can get away with. I think you just went everything a little bit too early, and that left you with J-Mo as your. That makes sense why it left you with J-Mo, because you went. But that's, it still could be a good team. I don't hate it at all. This team I totally royally screwed up. When we went to the other draft, I started timing out like crazy. I hate my team. My team has no wide receivers. I got screwed at quarterback. Got Bucky, Kyron, ETN, Bigsby. I got timed out. Look at who's this guy? Who's this running back at the end? Rashard Smith. Yeah. Woo! CeeDee Lamb, Ted McMillan, Jalen McMillan, and then I timed out and I didn't have any other wide receivers. It's the worst team I've ever drafted. Slater. Let's see, your team, solid. And let's see here. Who else did I want to review their team? BK, solid team there. You're obviously banking on CMC. Really good wide receivers and running backs balance. Nice balance, bro. Nice balance. Okay, go ahead, John.
I'm at the 12th spot. I wanted to talk about Sam Laporta. He was going for super cheap in Dynasty last year, and I think a lot of people were scared about him this year because Jameson Williams, hopefully I didn't botch his name, he took a lot of targets away, and he didn't really turn it on until the end. But when you really look at it, he still put up a ton of points, so it is what it is. I also wanted to talk about the 12th spot. Do you like the 12th spot this year more than you did last year?
I don't know. I wouldn't say I like it more than I liked it last year. Last year was a pretty nice spot. I really enjoyed it. I think this year it can get a little thin in the third round. The third and fourth round are a little thinner than I thought they'd be, at least feel-wise. I think if you leave your third and fourth round to one of those being a Jalen Hurts or a JD5 or Josh Allen, then it could be a really good feel of a draft from that 12 spot. So my advice would be to grab one of those QBs with the third and fourth round turn picks, just because you're going to be thinner there anyway. And if you're in the 12 spot, try and come away with balance if you can. So try and go Neighbors and Genty, and then you can go, wide receiver Hurts or whatever, and then you're going to have a really good shot at having a really balanced team from the 12th spot and not be somebody that got subjected to reaching on those wide receivers and trying to get, an Olave or something, because you're like, God, the wide receivers are flying off the board, and you end up with Olave and J-Mo. Well, I like J-Mo, but as your wide receivers, and then you got two running backs. It never ends up being a good team from 12 if it's not balanced, in my opinion. So it's a tricky spot.
I'm in the 12th spot in this draft right now, and I've done a lot of underdog drafts, and I have yet to see a single one where Neighbors goes at the 12th spot. He's climbing me. I feel like he's climbing me.
Well,
and I took Cam Ward a little early. I took him where you told him not to say it or not to take him, and it is what it is. But I tried. I sniped you on a lot of guys: Yoshi Voss, Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, I would say
you always draft well, regardless if you miss people. You hammer it at the end. So I don't know how you do it.
Not this one, bro. Not this one. This is the worst draft I've ever read. But thanks, John. All right, John.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Yep. Oh, and thoughts on my team. Thoughts on my team after 12 spot.
12 spot. The make it rain team. He leaves before I think he feels like he's got to hang up before he gets hung up on. I think that's John's thing. Mahomes, Cam Ward, Rodgers, Derrick Henry, Cook, Charbonnet, Garendo. I like the team a lot. Drake London, Rashee Rice, Godwin. Very good team. I like it a lot. Jonnu Smith, great tight end, good balance. Team's very, very balanced. Very balanced. And to his point about the 12 pick, I look over and see that he drafted balance. So I do like this. He drafted balance. He's got Henry, Drake London, and now it gives you some wiggle room. But where I would have gone differently is, I know James Cook had a big year, but I'm not a big advocate that he repeats it. I think he gets hurt if he tries to play as much and do as much as he did this year. It's just my opinion. It's my guesstimation. Total guesswork, but serves me pretty well for the most part. So I do think James Cook could be a mistake pick this year. So I would have taken this exact team that you started with, but you got Mahomes, so I like it. I would have probably went Hurts or Jane Daniels myself because they were available, and then that would have opened up like a Monty or like even Godwin's not bad. So like Godwin and Hurts versus James Cook and Mahomes, you could argue it. It's pretty close. I mean, so at the end of the day, you did a good job. It's a good team. All right, let me go over to Nap. Nap, you're live. Then I'm going to go back to Dan, then over to Rock Out, then over to Travis, and then I'll have to work out on the core board. Go ahead, Nap. You're live.
Smitty.
Yeah.
Smitty.
Yeah.
I got a bone to pick with you.
Okay, this never ends well, but go ahead. It doesn't. It doesn't.
But, all right. Okay. About your take about Damo being the number one receiver.
About who being the number one receiver?
James, say you, because a lot of my teams, I went RB heavy. And then I went running back.
Number one receiver in
fourth
fantasy.
round,
Okay.
Jamo's right.
Gotcha.
Jamo's there in the fourth.
Okay.
So I grab him. But I think that, and it's just, my thoughts. And I don't think, I think that,
What's the bone though? I'm waiting for the argument, the substance.
You wait for the argument. When you draft, it's coming. When you draft, I feel like you, so say I take J-Mo in the number one, he's my number one receiver.
Okay.
I don't think that he's going to finish 1 to 12 as a true number one receiver, but I do think that he can finish 15, 16. And, if you draft well, other receivers and stuff, I feel like, in my number 2 spot, I would want a guy who could at least finish as a wide receiver 2 from 13 to 24.
Look, I like J-Mo. It's hard to say anything negative about my J-Mo take because this is a guy who was pumping up all year long to go get before his little surge happened. So I love J-Mo. But the problem is for that being your number one wide receiver is, especially if you're talking about best ball like we're drafting tonight, the wide receivers are getting scooped up at an unfair level that's almost a reckless and misappropriation of funds type of level. We're talking about in best ball, wide receivers in round 3 that belong at 3.1, 3.3, 3.5 are getting drug up into the second round. And so your third round receivers a lot of times are actually fourth round receivers. That's why J-Mo, feels a little bit, it feels like it dries up. And so Superfish's team, if I pull Superfish's team back on screen, you can tell why this team, and I'm sure this doesn't offend Superfish. Superfish is a great drafter and will have many, many more amazing teams. So I don't think Superfish will mind me using this as an example. But you can't tell me that this team right here is going to win the entire thing, in my opinion. I love JD5. I love Bucky. I love Achane. But J-Mo is the number one wide receiver. He's a fantastic wide receiver. But this team, it lacks the ability to compete, especially if it gets struck with injury. But look at how thin the wide receivers got. When you leave it to J-Mo to be your 1, that means that your 2 is going to be behind the 8 ball. Your 3 is going to be behind the 8 ball. Your 4 is going to be behind the 8 ball. Somebody must have dropped some gifted memberships because my thing's going nuts in here. Superfish, 5 gifted memberships. Please thank Superfish. Let me give you an example though. Let's say JMO goes as your third or fourth rounder. Where are you taking JMO? Fourth round?
Usually in the fourth.
Okay, so JMO in the fourth round, and then who's your 1, 2, and 3 round picks normally with this scenario?
Well, it depends on where I'm picking.
Yeah, but just throw it out.
I'm looking at his team. I'm looking at his team, and I'm seeing JMO, Reed. Who was the wide receiver 3?
It was, and again, Superfish is strong enough to take the criticism, because again, Superfish drafts amazing teams. So this one, I just drafted a trash team right now. It happens, but Jaden Reed, Jalen McMillan, who I like, but every single one of these wide receivers is behind the 8 ball. You can't catch up. It's just in Superfish even said people are good. So give me a team. Give me a team with JMO in the 4th round that you love.
I'm a judge off this team.
Okay.
I see JMO. Like I said, I feel like he can finish 15, 17 or whatever. So
Great.
Kind of wide receiver 1 almost, whatever. And then Jaden Reed, I feel like he could be a wide receiver 2, finishing the year. McMillan, wide receiver 3, depending on if they add anybody. But the same with Reed, because they're going to add the receiver.
Okay, so I don't know if McMillan was trying to think where these guys. I guess McMillan and Reed were
my question is, do you think Reed can finish as a?
No, I want you to stay focused, McMillan. I want you to stay focused here. We're trying to. You had a bone to pick with me, so I'm trying to break it down to see if I agree with you or I'm. You know what? I see where you're coming from. I'm trying to figure it out. And I think everybody else is watching, wanting this little bone to be picked with Smitty to be concluded. It's just for the sake of.
Well, the bone was JMO being
I know, and I'm trying to prove that my statement I believe is still correct, 100%. So JMO, Reed, McMillan, let's just say those are your guys. Give me your round 1, round 2, round 3 pick, and just off the top of your head, let's say you take Gibbs in round 1.
Give me a number 1 to 12.
Not round 5 or pick 5. So give me your players. Round 1.
Pick 5 in round 1. I probably would take Jefferson.
Okay, so JJ, who's your round 2 guy? Wait, hold on, JJ. You just said this is a wide receiver. The whole argument is.
My teams, I like to build running back heavy teams, but.
Oh my God. Is this Bizarro World?
If you look at it,
is this Bizarro World? What world am I in right now? We're trying to argue your point of JMO being your number 1 wide receiver, and you tell me you're picking JJ in the 1st round. You're totally throwing your bone to pick is your bone's been buried. Your bone has been you dug a hole and threw your bone in it and covered the hole. You're going RB here. Give me 3 RBs or 2 RBs and a quarterback, or a tight end and 2 RBs. You're not taking a receiver. So round 1, round 2, round 3, go.
If you put me at 5, I'm taking JJ unless
you're not taking son of a.
That's not the strategy, though, that we're talking about.
Bro, you're telling look. You have a bone with the pick with me. You have a bone. You have a bone to pick with me. Listen. Take a running back. You're trying to prove to me that you can go JMO.
Yeah.
So pick a running, then give me a different draft slot, whatever, bro. The top 5, 6 running backs go in the top 5.
Gibbs is at 5. If Gibbs is at 5, I'm taking Gibbs at 5.
Okay, Gibbs, whatever. Okay, Gibbs. Now, who's your 2nd round player? Who's your 3rd round player? Just hurry through this. It's like pulling teeth. If he's just wide receiver, I'm gonna lose my mind.
It depends. I don't have the ADP on my face. Because the ADP matters to me.
Remember what I said when you called in? You said I got a bone to pick. I said this wasn't going to end well. This is not going to end well. It's not ending well. You're trying to tell me you've got a bone to pick with me saying JMO can't be your number 1 wide receiver and you win a league, and I'm trying to set you up. I don't think you really have thought it through, because you can't even give me a 2nd and 3rd round player. You're taking 15 minutes to try and argue this when I'm setting it up perfectly for you. I'm trying to build a team for you, and we're going to let the chat look at it and tell me if it's going to win a championship. So who's your? Give me any 2nd round running back.
If you could help me out with this.
I don't know the ADP's on top.
I will help you out. But how can you call into the show and say you've got a bone to pick with J-Mo being the number one wide receiver when you don't even know ADP at all? How do you even have a stance on J-Mo as your number one is going to work out? Because I've done this, and this. Smitty, I've proven it. You haven't. It sounds like you're just stepping into fantasy for the first time in like a half a year. You've taken it off. You don't know where any of the guys are going, yet you have a bone to pick with me saying J-Mo's your number one, can't be won with. Like, I don't understand what we're doing here. I'll go ahead and read off some running backs or quarterbacks and tight ends. You got Brock Bowers in round 2. You got, let's see, Ashton Genty in round 2, JT, Breece Hall, Josh Jacobs. You got Kyron in round 3, Jacobs in round 3. You've got Lamar Jackson in round 3.
I would take JT round 2.
Okay.
And I'd take Cook or Tyron round 3.
You pick, and it's Cook. But go ahead, you pick.
Round 3, yeah, I usually pick Cook.
Okay.
Chase Brown.
Okay, so where are you taking your quarterback? Are you taking your quarterback in 4 or 5?
Honestly, if it was me, I would pick Cook round 3 because Ty Johnson's a free agent. I would pick over Chase Brown because I feel like they're gonna. First of all, he's not like a workhorse kind of guy. I feel like they'll grab a running back because it's a strong running back class this year.
And where are you taking your quarterback?
It depends. I like Bo Nix this year. I got a lot of Bo Nix this year.
Okay, I'm not gonna even write him into 5 or whatever. I'm gonna kind of write McMillan, Reed, and Nix all in that like 5 to like 8 range. You're telling me, does anybody want to raise? Give me an eggplant emoji or a thumb down for no, or an X or whatever emoji describes no, and give me a thumbs up or a fire emoji or whatever describes yes. Does this team win any best ball tournament or even come close? Even though I love Gibbs, this team is finishing bottom 4.
If T-Mac's there somewhere, I grab him too. I think that would be.
I don't think the bone. I think the bone's been buried. you brought a bone to a gunfight.
Here's another thing I'm saying. You got my 3 running backs. So right there, like you start 2 running backs and you get a flex. Like I automatically got 2 running backs in the flex right now.
All right, let me. Can I just tell you? Can I just tell you? I know you like J-Mo, bro. I'm not saying I don't like J-Mo.
Yeah.
You're not winning a championship.
You're
not. There you go. You're a Lions fan. You're not winning a championship or any tournament with J-Mo as your number 1 wide receiver. You know how I can say that with certainty, with 100% certainty, because it's not like I'm saying you can't win with J-Mo. I'm saying you can't win with J-Mo as your number 1, given that I know the rest of your wide receivers are going to suck if that's your number 1 wide receiver. You're already behind the 8 ball and not filling your wide receiver room appropriately. So every player you get after J-Mo is going to be progressively worse. There's no way you're winning a league with J-Mo as your number 1 wide receiver. 0 chance. Negative chance. Your bone to pick with me has been buried.
The top 24 wide receiver.
And it doesn't even if he does finish as a top 15 wide receiver, bro, you're not listening to the point. The point is that J-Mo, because J-Mo is your number 1, your wide receiver 2 and 3 are going to be progressively worse than everybody else's. You're behind the 8 ball so badly. Even if J-Mo pulls his weight, you have a trash wide receiver room. You can't have a good wide receiver room if J-Mo's your number 1. It's not about J-Mo as much as you're telling a story and you're relaying what you've done and where you've made your mistakes in the draft. J-Mo is your number 1 wide receiver. You're losing the league. This team cannot win. This team cannot win. It just can't. Unless somehow you drafted Ted McMillan, let's say, and he was he was BT of this year, and you also grabbed Whittington, and let's say Puka went down and Whittington was a top 15 wide receiver. Like, is there a world where everything goes perfect? Maybe, but this is not going to win. This is not going to win. I'm sorry. Smitty disapproved on the bone that you have to pick with me.
All right. One more thing.
Just been Smitty.
Would you have Worthy or Zay Flowers is the number one receiver?
I think you made a grave mistake by going RB, especially in best ball, where it's not just about following the leader and everybody goes wide receiver, so you go wide receiver. It's about that the position is drying up faster in best ball than in non-best ball. So if you are going to take a running back approach, and I don't advise that, just like I don't advise going wide receiver, you're drying up so badly at that position you're ignoring. There's not a real way to recover. It's easier to recover at the running back position because you could get all the rookies with Etienne and Bigsby, and you can come up with some kind of Charbonnet, and then let's say Walker gets traded or gets hurt, and then Charbonnet's the top 5 running back we think he could be. You got Charbonnet, and you got Etienne, Bigsby. There's a way you could recover from the wide receiver approach, but even so, though, I would say wide receiver is not smart because you're leaving the quarterback spot vulnerable, the tight end spot vulnerable, the running back spot. So there's multiple things to be concerned about. Your best approach, bro, is balance. I'm telling you right now, best player available is the only way to draft, number one. And number two, in that, the best sub-strategy under best player available. And that does not mean draft the highest rated guy on the pre-rank list. It means who you believe at the time of drafting is the best player available. If you draft best player available, the best sub-strategy in 2025 is balance. It's balance. It's having balance, and that doesn't mean you have to have running back, wide receiver, tight end, or running back, wide receiver, quarterback, but you should have running back, wide receiver, or at least RB, wide receiver. Like if this wide receiver here could be JSN instead of James Cook, now you have the flexibility with this pick to not force JMO to take the best player available. Maybe this right here is JD5, and you have Gibbs, JT, JSN, JD5. That is a much stronger start, bro. Does anybody in the chat want to give a thumbs up or a thumbs down to whether this team knocks the absolute socks off the other team off the first 4 picks from the rip?
Hey, I got one for you. I got one. I found one of my drafts, and I got my. I picked 5, and it's the JMO led wide receiver crew. Okay. All right, the quarterback. I got Herbert and Stroud. Running back, I got Gibbs, JT, Chase Brown, Judkins, Jalen Wright, and DJ Giddens. Receiver, Zamo, Khalil Shakir, Jalen McMillan, Isaiah Cedric Tillman, Worthington, Calvin Austin, DeMarcus Robinson, Tez Johnson. At tight end, I got Kittle, Ingram, and Otten.
I mean, is it better than the other team? Yeah. You said JT, right? Or JD. JT.
So also with this strategy, I feel like rather than these tight ends, you can go, fully blind.
Let me just finish though. Is it better than the other team? Maybe. But is this winning? No. There's no shot. 0% chance this wins any of the big tournaments, bro, or even the little board or the big board. You don't have the wide receiver power in a 3 wide receiver to win. And I'm not saying I don't love Chase Brown, not saying I don't love JT, I don't love Gibbs, but this is not going to, even as your flex, you're locking that in. The wide receivers are just too weak to win. You'd have to have too many things go down. Shakir is your number 2 wide receiver. There's no team that's winning with Shakir as their number 2 wide receiver.
I feel that. But what about Jalen McMillan going crazy because I was probably on the out?
I like McMillan.
And they probably draft a receiver.
I like McMillan, but bro, this is not. These are players that just because I like them doesn't mean that they fit into these roles that we're jamming them into. Like again, if I was to rework this and go, okay, if I were to take Gibbs in the first round, so be it. Okay, JT, let's say instead of JT, I go. I'm trying to think of a receiver in round 2 that I would probably draft in this position. You could go London if he was there. You could go RB. Again, I kind of find myself I'm gonna go back to the wide receiver, and I'm gonna say let's put JJ here. You even like JJ, and then here I'm gonna go. Even if I went Bucky or Breece Hall, or if we kept JT was your second round player. Let's keep things as much the same as we can. So JT, JT. And then in the third round, I love Chase Brown. I do love Chase Brown. But I feel like I would be... Third round.
Got another one too if you want to hear it.
I'm good, bro. Let's say this is Kyron. So Kyron, JT, JJ. Fourth rounder, we're looking at somebody around the range of Joe Burrow, Ted McMillan, Jalen Hurts. I'm going to put Hurts in here instead of Herbert. In round 5, we're talking about David Montgomery, Jerry Jeudy, Chuba Hubbard, Kamara, DK. I'm going to put DK here. Or if you don't like DK, insert Ted McMillan. So Ted McMillan or DK, whatever you guys prefer. Let's just go. Let's go T-Mac, Ted McMillan. This team is just, in my opinion, a lot stronger, a lot better chance. And you wouldn't have Kittle probably, but you'd have Laporta. So it's just a balance of resources. This team would smash the hell out of the other team. Hurts, JT, Kyron, and I don't even know if I love JT. Like let's say we went Bucky. Early or something, or Breece Hall or whatever. This team crushes.
The approach is effective because wide receiver is pretty fluid when it comes to.
All right, Nap, I'm good. Okay, go do your approach. Let's see how it goes.
You hear this other one? I'm telling you, wow.
I'm good. I'm good. All right, hey Nap, appreciate you. Call back if you have another question though. All right.
Sure.
Thanks, pal. Appreciate you, though. I do appreciate you, okay?
All
right, later, bro. Let's go back over to Dan, check in on Dan, then go to John. Dan, how you doing over there in Florida? You're muted, by the way, in the pantry. Dan in the pantry.
Dan in the garage.
Dan?
I'm awake.
Dan?
I'm awake.
This is Mrs. Dan. Where are you? I broke the megaphone.
I got you, bro. I got you. I'm with you.
Dan, where are you?
Listen.
Yes.
I'm here, brother. I'm here. I got you.
I'm pretending to be your wife, Dan. I'm saying, Dan, you in the garage, Dan?
Are you there?
Yeah, Dan.
I'm in the garage, brother.
Yeah. Dan, I'm here. I'm here, Dan. I can hear you, Dan. What can I do for you, Dan? Twice?
Listen, brother. You're doing everything you can do for me right now. I'm just chilling.
Attaboy. All right, let me go over to John then. Go ahead,
listen,
Dan.
No. Listen. I got a question for you.
Okay.
I'm a Miami fan.
Okay.
Gosh darn, Tyreek has drove me nuts, and so has Tua. What the hell are we gonna do?
Well, you got Bobby Slowick. He came from the Houston Texans situation, and he decided to wait on getting a head coaching job. He decided to wait a year, and then he got fired. But this guy constructed a really solid offense in Houston for 2 years. It got hampered by It got hampered by injuries. And then he turned Mixon into a freaking star for a majority of the year. So I'm real excited, actually, about what that could do for Achane, especially, throw into him. And I think that it helps solve and alleviate some of the concerns that Tua will struggle. I think it'll be a better offense. I think you got Miami Mike very willing to dial back some of his play calling, obviously. So Slowick's we'll see how much they want to involve him in terms of making, all the offensive call, whatever. I don't know what he's going to do entirely yet, but I think it's a great move. Tyreek Hill says he wants to stay. Could that be posturing that the team said, hey, come in, let's do a meeting This is ridiculous that you called us out, told everybody you were going to leave. Can you clean it up, walk it back, and then we'll try and trade you if you do that? Because it ruins his trade value to be like, I'm out of here. Then teams are like, he's not staying. We're not going to overpay. So I don't know. I would say Miami's not winning the Super Bowl with this squad, unfortunately, Dan. But I think you got an exciting year. Maybe it could be good.
I agree with you. I agree with you on that. And listen, Miami Mike McDaniel's trash. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah. All right, hang tight, Dan. Let's go back over to John, then over to Rockout, then over to Travis, and then we're out of here. Go ahead, John.
Hey, Smitty, with Zach Martin retiring Cowboys, I think he has like a 10-time All-Pro guard, something like that, may have been left tackle, switched over. Do you think that spooks Jerry Jones into taking an offensive tackle instead of taking your guy, Ashton Jeanty?
It could. It depends on who falls there. Dan just left. Dan, appreciate you, my boy. Dan to the moon. Let's send Dan to Jupiter real quick. Dan?
To Jupiter.
And then to bed. So don't want to get in trouble. What were we talking about? Oh, Cowboys. Yeah. Where's my draft? 12 overall. I mean, I think Banks is gone by then, but like Banks would be hard to pass on just from an offensive, line perspective.
He might not be.
He maybe not
might be there.
But there's a lot to like about the offensive line quality at that stage. So I'm fine with that, I guess. It definitely doesn't. For me, I'm not too like. Jeanty might even be gone by then. Maybe the Raiders take him at 6, but. If Genty's available, I think it is the pick. If Genty's not there, if Ted McMillan's not there, offensive line makes sense. I mean, protect, get Dak and CD cooking. That's all we really care about. Jeanty would be a bonus, but Ted McMillan would kind of be it'd be fun. It'd be great for Dak. It'd be great for Dallas. It would be scary for Lamb owners.
Appreciate it, Smitty. And I have one more question in regards to the Miami Dolphins. I know everybody says it's the coach and whatnot, but if you look at their deep passes this year, they were like ranked 20th. And I don't necessarily think it's the coach. I think it's Tua. When he had his Dr. Strange concussion moment, I don't know what the medical term is, like the finger thing. He barely fell down and he didn't get hit in the head. And then he went to the locker room and he talked to some ESPN reporter. It looked like he was like a deer in the headlights. It was a glaze. So at this point, I think the man's getting concussed just from walking. Like his brain's jiggling, and it's an unfortunate circumstance. But I feel like they need to get rid of him, and they're screwed because
they're not. So. They're not getting rid of him. They signed him to a big fat contract extension. So Tua's there to stay, which is a problem. I do agree with you. Tua is not good, and they need to have a backup plan. But it's not going to change. And, when you say that it's not Miami Mike, it is Miami Mike because it's Miami Mike's decision. And Miami Mike, when he first got hired, got on a plane before he ever even met Tua, called him up on the phone and said, Tua Tagovailoa, you're my guy no matter what, I love you. It's all on video. And he committed to him without even exploring what was going on. It is on Miami Mike McDaniel. McDaniel is the reason why Tua got extended. He makes the calls. And it was a bad decision, and he believes in Tua, and I agree with you. And I've done live stream after live stream after live stream where I've said that Tua Tagovailoa is going to end up getting another concussion at some point. And we even said this like over a year ago when we were worried about him. When Mike McDaniel sent him back into the game concussed and said he didn't know. When what you described a minute ago, fencing, there was clear fencing in his posture when he went down, and they sent him back on the field. Wild to me. It's unfortunately not a good long-term situation, because by the time Miami Mike, even if Miami Mike's not the problem, bro, he made his own bed. He made his own bed, and he's going to get fired because he chose Tua Tagovailoa, and they locked him up. They're committed to him. They're fully committed to him. Go trade for Joe Milton. Have him in the wings waiting. That would be the smartest move Miami Mike could make. All right, bro.
Yep. See you
later. Rock out. Final thoughts.
Rock out. Go to Travis first.
Let me go to Nap first. Nap is back. Nap, you got 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Go.
All right. Here's the thing. J-Mo's going to go crazy this year, right? 1,400 plus yards, 12 plus touchdowns, and he gets traded after next year. The offensive coordinator that just came over from Denver, he likes to pass the ball deep.
I understand. You're speaking to the choir. You're preaching to the choir. I love J-Mo.
So that's what I'm saying. How am I wrong with?
Because he should be your. You're not. I don't think you're hearing Smitty. You're listening to Smitty, but you're not hearing him.
I listen to him every day.
If you draft J-Mo as your number one wide receiver, you're behind the 8 ball. You do not have enough firepower even below him. If he's your second wide receiver, I love it. If he slips to round 5 and you're like, oh yeah, how did that happen? I love it. But you can't walk in to 2025 as J-Mo is your wide receiver 1. It's not going to work. Your team is not going to be deep enough. I'm not saying he can't earn, his weight in touchdowns and yardage and be a total surprise in games. I mean, St. Brown's one of the more injury-prone players. He could easily be the one in Detroit with St. Brown getting hurt. But that doesn't, just like Joe, who kept arguing with me, Cam Ward, what if Cam Ward's thrown to neighbors? Then isn't he worth a 7th rounder? You don't have to take Cam Ward in round 7. You take him in 11 or 10, and if you're right, you still make out on all those advantages and benefits. Like that guy Joe's probably going to call in if Cam Ward's a great player, which we're predicting he is, that he's going to think he won the debate. He didn't. Just because J-Mo's going to have a great year doesn't mean you're drafting him as your number 1 wide receiver. You win your league, Nap, if he's your number 2. You win your league. If he does what you and I think he can do, but you can't draft him as your number 1 wide receiver, your team's going to look like dog water. I just showed it to you. I mapped it out. The team you gave me looked like dog water.
With Ted at number 2, or I got some teams with David Worthy at number 2. I'm drafting for it's best ball, like you said before. It is. So it's a gamble. So you got to take those shots, I think.
Okay.
And
you're a Lions fan, and you got your head buried in the Lions. It's Lions for you, bro. You got to take a step back.
No, not just Lions.
Okay,
I'm betting on J-Mo.
Okay,
that was a great year. But I'm betting on, like I said, I got teams with David Worthy at number 2. I got teams with Ted with number 2. Jerry Judy at number 2.
Okay.
And other guys too.
I'm gonna say no. But Nap, try it in a couple leagues, and then don't. I can tell though you're rinsing and repeating it in every draft. This is your strategy. You're not letting go of it.
Not every
okay,
draft.
Don't. Okay, definitely don't do this in every draft. Try it out. Have fun with it. Follow those teams. You can rename any draft on Underdog. You just click that little pencil and put like eggplant emojis for anyone that you do this with, and that's the one you're getting excited about. You're hoping that these rise up. And you can go follow them later by identifying, the way you title them. But I urge you not to continue down this road to an extreme degree. Experiment. Try it out. Try it out.
I'm gonna make a note of how many I've got.
I don't think you're gonna listen to me, but that's right. Hey, Nap, gotta go. Appreciate you, bro. Later, pal.
Yeah, appreciate you, bro.
All right, rock out. Final thoughts. God. Him and Joe just aren't hearing me tonight. They just weren't hearing me. They weren't hearing me. Anything I said, they just didn't hear it. Rock out. Final thoughts. Rock out. I don't think rock out. Rock out's. He's on a satellite phone or something. I don't know.
Hello?
Yeah, we're here. Rock out. Final thoughts.
Yeah, what do you think Pitt's going to do this year?
Pittsburgh?
No, Kyle Pitts.
Oh, Kyle Pitts. I don't know.
Every year's the year.
Could be good.
I mean, he did look like he was screwing up big time, and then he kind of turned it around a little bit, and then he made that clutch catch when we're like, why would Penix throw it to him? So he had 602 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 47 receptions. A year prior, he had 667, 53. I'm going to say 55, 705.
705?
55 receptions, 700 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Safe, pretty solid.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
Yep.
Expect more. Hopefully you get more. That's all I can do.
I know, right? We keep saying
Maybe
every year is year.
Maybe 805, maybe 806 is possible. But I'm just not banking on it. I'd rather go after Laporta all day, baby. All right, rock out. Appreciate you, bro. Call in tomorrow.
All
right, Travis, final thoughts. Then I'm out of here. I got to go run, work out.
On JMO, I like JMO a lot, but I don't see Amon-Ra losing catches. I see Laporta getting more targets next year. And so, I don't know if JMO can ever be more like a 90-catch guy. I think he's probably like a 70 to 80-catch guy at the most, which you can do plenty of damage with, but it just closes that window for him to be able to continuously do it every week and be a true number one wide receiver.
Yeah.
I'm not doubting his ability. It's more the situation to me.
Let me read these super chats. I hear you, and I really like JMO, but I just think you can't expect him to do what this guy's thinking, which is just he's going to be you're banking way too much on him being your number one wide receiver. Let me get these super chats real quickly, Travis. Actually, Travis, I'll see you tomorrow. Call in tomorrow. All right, Travis. Oh, Travis, I don't know. I think you left. Travis, thank you. Call in tomorrow, Travis. Are you getting into the bold prediction board? Can we do this tomorrow? Let's do this tomorrow, Superfish. We'll do it tomorrow evening on the later show, the Graveyard Show. Thank you, Superfish. You probably won it, so congrats. But we'll vote on it. I'll get the top 5, but it's going to take some time, and I already got to get going. So we'll take care of it probably tomorrow evening in the Graveyard Show. Aaron, are you still here? Can you explain why ADP is better than projections, please? Because it tells you what the other persons are doing in your draft. Projections, nobody's playing with the same projections. Really, no one's sorting by it. ADP is telling you exactly where players are getting taken. And when you're talking about underdog, for example, do you know how many drafts have been taking place to accumulate this data? Probably, good Lord. On the big board alone, there have been 223,000 drafts that contribute to this ADP you're looking at. On the little board alone, there's 110,000 drafts contributing to that same ADP. On the bigger board, there's 2,000, and then there's more. So you're talking about by even a couple months' time, 300,000 or 400,000 drafts. You're talking about big data. Big data gives you great averages, great predictability. You're talking about 300,000. 200,000 right now drafts that are predicting where these players are going. That's why they go in those draft slots almost like clockwork. Especially when you're drafting outside of our community, we snipe a lot, so it's hard to get value. But you're talking about knowing where all the landmines are, knowing where all the value is. It's like going to a store knowing when it's going to be $7.99 instead of $10.99. So you're going to go to that store when it's $7.99 because you have the game plan for when things are going on sale. That's ADP. If you draft around it, not buy it, but around it. Oh, I know that I can get Kyron in the 3rd round, and you don't take him in round 2, you're cleaning up. Bucky's going at 3.2, you don't take him in the 1st round, or Kyron's going at 35 overall, almost the end of round 3, you don't take him in round 2, you take him in round 3. That is using ADP to win and crush your opponents to little pieces. Justin says in redraft, people are not going to be rushing to take Cam Ward, underdog, and best ball is different because people don't have to look at the decision constantly. Yeah, but the ADP is the ADP. ADP is the ADP. The ADP is not a guesstimation. It's what people are actually doing. So the ADP for Cam Ward is round 13, which means that doesn't matter. On underdog, the average person every single time is taking Cam Ward in round 13. Will somebody do it in 12? Maybe. But he's going in round 13 almost every single time in 200,000 drafts. So best ball is even more likely to predict ADP. The wife caught me in the garage and poured my drink into the sink. See you tomorrow, homie. You still owe me a set for the early 20. I'll definitely do the set for you tomorrow. Daniel, appreciate you. And on that note, as we walk out the door, thank you, Daniel, for the super chat. on that note, I will say that if anybody wants to get in shape, and I reached out to this sponsor. They didn't even get a hold of me. I was like, I want to be a part of this. And they sent me this package, and I'm doing a challenge. 60 days, I'm going to get ripped. It started about 8 days ago or something, and I'm feeling good already, but I need to get even more on the ball. This core board system is all you need. It's a home gym. 10% off if you use code Smitty. All you got to do is go to this website if anybody wants to purchase a core board from Stoic Innovations, which is the website. Core board, baby. Put it in the garage, hang it on the wall. As you can see, the link I just dropped. As you can see, thank you for the gifted memberships, by the way, Superfish. It's awesome. It's 30, 40 pounds, something like that. But you could put hooks in your garage wall and hang it up. You could hang all the ropes on it or on separate hooks. I've got them on my door, as you can see right here.
Let's go! Mashed potatoes!
What? Wrong angle. I got it on the door of all the rubber band on the door, and I hang everything on the door, and I put the core board against the wall. The core board's in the other room right now, set up. But it's easy to tuck away. You can slide it under a bed, but it's a really cool device because it's everything. Curls, overhead press, rows. You can wrap the cables, kind of like the cables are wrapped around the bar right now. You can hook one of them onto those little metal silver bars, right? And then you hook the handles on it. You can do rows from that folded position. You can do squats with them. You can do this dragonfly right here, ab workout, you name it. Code Smitty. Link is in the live chat. I'll see you all tomorrow. Appreciate every single one of you.
He's BTJ. What you gonna do? He's BTJ. He's gonna put it on you. He's BTJ. Gonna have a good game. He's BTJ. Your mama screams his name. BTJ is going to put it on you. There's not a single thing that you can do. BTJ is going to put it on you. There's not a single thing that you can do.
Live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, every single Monday through Friday. Additionally, live whenever big news breaks on a separate live stream. And live most graveyard shows. Smitty gets sponsored by Helix Mattress. Maybe I do, because I got a crank, like a kink in my neck right now. My neck is totally messed up right now because I slept wrong last night. So rock out, you're a mind reader. Let's get the mattress sponsorship going up in this house here. Joshua watches from the gym almost every time. Out of boy getting a pump in. Thank you, Nap, for picking a bone with your boy Smitty. Yep. Thank you to all my super chatters. Thank you, Daniel, with the $20 hauler at the start of the show. Is Daniel still watching somehow? Justin, thank you. Appreciate the $50 hauler from Justin, kicking off the amazing idea to do the 6-man $50 a piece draft that we did tonight. Justin, you still out there? Arthur, appreciate you. Justin with the additional. Daniel with additional super chats. Superfish with the super chat and the gifted memberships. Justin with another one. Aaron with the super chat. Superfish with another super chat. Daniel with another one. Rock out. Appreciate every single one of you. And Superfish, again, thank you for the gifted memberships. I'll see you all tomorrow. Back is better, Aaron, to a degree. I almost pulled it again the other day. I could feel it weak, but this core board's helping it tremendously. Is Daniel still with us? Oh, Daniel. Later, Rock Out. Later, Travis. Thank you, mods. Thank you, Sick Nasty, Mod Squad. Blackbeard, if he's out there. Rock Out. Appreciate you. Rock Out's like a cousin to the mods. Thank you, Vampy. Thank you. God, I feel like I'm losing my mind lately. Let me go through all the mods. Travis, DeBalt, Blackbeard, Sick Nasty, Vamp, Kenny Powers, Terry Roberts, and God, what am I? Space Ricky. Am I missing anybody? Space Ricky, Sick Nasty, Blackbeard, Vampy, DeBalt, Travis, Terry Roberts, Kenny Powers. I think I got them all. Am I right, Travis? I think I got them all. If I missed this a mod, I'm so sorry. My mind is mush. See you all tomorrow.